What's up, data friends? It's Yanis here and welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to go over a Python test example for interviews. And this is going to be a beginner's level. So more specifically, we're going to have these 6 questions over here where we are going to attempt to answer them and also explain the methodology behind answering each question. Now, what I suggest you should do is that you should download this file from my GitHub page, attempt to answer these questions before watching this video, and then come back to the video and see how well you've done. And before we start this video, let me just say that if you're passionate about data analytics and data science, then please consider liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and enabling notifications for my future videos. Right, starting with the raw data we're going to use, we have 2 files. We have the car main file, which is an Excel file, and we also have the car info file, which again is an Excel file. And what I'm doing over here is that I am loading my raw data into these 2 pandas data frames so we can start answering the questions. So when you get an interview to do a Python test, they're either going to give you the files and you're going to have to load them in, or they're going to have the files already loaded in the UI they're going to be using, and you're going to have to start using those 2 files. But in our case, we have 2 Excel files. So the first one is the car data. This has some information about the cars and also the retail price and invoice price. And the car info, if I run it quickly, it has some additional information about the cars. So if I run it quickly, so you can visualize it, there you go. We have some additional information. An important thing you should notice as soon as you get your raw data files or the data frames is to identify the keys. So in our case, the keys is the index, which is going to be the column we're going to use to join them together. However, because this is the beginner level test, I'm not going to have any joins. I think I'm going to have joins in the easy, intermediate, and difficult test, which we're going to show in the next videos. Right, starting with our first question. So I'm just going to come down here because we have the answers above. So the first question says, show all the index, makes, models, and retail price, ordered by retail price descending. So here they are trying to test and see if you know how to select specific column and if you know how to order your data set. So I'm just going to copy our data frame and then open double brackets and then select the columns they're asking us. So 1, 2, 3, 4 columns is the index. So index from here. Then is the make, then is the model, and then is the retail price. There we go. Copy, and then it's asking us to order by retail price descending. So we're going to have to do dot sort values, and then in here I need to add the retail price, and I also in here, and then I also need to say ascending equals false. And if I run this quickly, we can see that we have the index, which is the index, the makes, the model, the retail price, and its order descending, so not ascending, as you can see over here. Right, moving on to the second question. Oh, by the way, we forgot to say we only have 20 minutes to finish this test, and we have 6 questions. So it's about 3 minutes plus per question. That's why I'm going to try and answer them as fast as possible. So show all the Audi models for 2024. Over here, I'm just going to select my data frame and then add a condition. And in our condition, I want to filter make, which is, if I scroll up to see the raw data, make is where we're going to find Audi. So I want the make like this in here equals to Audi cars. And we also need another condition. We also need the year to be 2024. So if we check the year, you can see it only has to be 2024 because we also have 2023. Maybe we'll have 2022 too. So if I come down here, I need to add another condition. So I'm just going to close this condition like this. Then I'm going to add an end because I need another condition. I'm going to copy this, paste it. I'm going to say year in here, and I'm going to say equals 2024. No, 2024, enter. There we go. So if we check now, we only have Audi cars and we only have data for 2024. Right, moving on to the next question. It says, show the total retail price for Mercedes cars per model, ordered by retail price descending. So this question now is asking us to aggregate our data. We want to sum the retail price for all Mercedes cars, and we also want to sum it by model. To do this, I am going to start by filtering our data for Mercedes cars. So over here, I'm going to say make equals Mercedes. In brackets, Mercedes, if you see, it's actually Mercedes-Benz. So if you only type Mercedes, is not going to work. You're going to have to use .contain, but we're going to stay with equals over here. So first, we are filtering our data. This is just Mercedes cars. And now we want to do .group by, open brackets, in square brackets, we want to add the column we're going to group by, which is going to be the model. So this over here, I'm going to say no space, comma, as index equals false, because I don't want to create a new index. And now I want to aggregate my data, and I want to sum retail price. So I am going to select, where is it? Retail price, like this. I'm going to do sum, like this. And if I run this, I get an error, and it's because it's index, not index with double E. There we go. And the last thing we need is to sort the data by retail price descending. So I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to copy the code we added over here. I'm going to paste it down here, and its sort values, retail price is correct, ascending equals false is correct, because we need the descending retail price. So if we run this now, you can see that we have all Mercedes cars per model. As you can see, we have their total retail price, and we have the data ascending. So we have answered this question too. Right, moving on to the next question. It says, show the total retail price, average invoice price by make and by body size, where the body style is SUV. In this question now, it's asking us to do a lot of aggregations, as you've seen. So I'm going to try and copy the code we have above here, and we're going to try and adjust the code we have above here. So the first thing we need is that we need to filter body style equals SUV. Because if we quickly visualize our data, so let's do this, we can see that body style column is over here, and we only need to select SUV cars. So I'm going to change my condition that we had before over here, and I'm going to say body style like this equals SUV. So this is going to condition our data, filter our data. Then we need to change our group by to have make and body size. So I'm going to select make over here in our group by, and I'm going to add another group by, which is going to be the body size, as you can see. So I'm going to copy this, paste it over here. And then we need to change our aggregations. We need the total retail price. We actually have the sum of retail price, and we also need the average invoice price. So the invoice price is this column over here. So if I add it in quickly, it's not going to work, but I'm going to explain why. Invoice price, copy, paste, and then we also need to have the average, which is the mean. There we go. If I click run, you can see it throws an error, and it says aggregate function failed because it cannot do the mean of invoice price. And the reason it cannot do the mean is because if you check invoice price, you can see that it's not actually a number. It's a text that has the $sign and also the comma. So if I check the data type quickly, just to show you, it's going to be an object. So the types like this, you can see that invoice price column is actually an object. It's not a number, so we cannot aggregate it. So we basically have to change this to be a number so we can apply the aggregation. And to do this, we're going to have to do some cleaning before we run our query down here. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to say invoice price. Let me copy the name like this. So invoice price equals invoice price dot replace, and I'm going to replace the $sign with empty. So $sign comma empty, and then I'm going to run another one of this. and I'm going to replace the comma with empty, and I'm also going to say dot as type, and over here I'm going to say float. So this is going to change the object or the text into float, so our aggregation can work. So if I run this, I got another error. Let me see. Could not. Oh, it did not change them. Why did it not change them? It's because we are missing the .str. Sorry. As you can see, it still didn't work because our cleaning over here did not work, and it's because we are missing the .str. So because we have to apply it per row, and if I do this again, there we go. You can see that we have the make and body size, where body style is SUV. So this is our condition. And we have the total retail price, and the average invoice price. So we have answered our question. If we want to remove the NAs, we can also do .drop NA. Actually, let's showcase it. So let me do this. Let me move this code above here, because if I rerun it, it's not going to work. And if I do .drop NA, I think, like this, there we go. So now we don't have the NAs in invoice price. However, this also removed some data from retail price, but it's up to you if you want to showcase that you know how to do drop NA, or if you want to leave it as is so you don't lose any data. Right, moving on to our next question. It says, show the average retail price per make and model for all Ford four-wheel drive cars. And what we see over here is that we need to use our second table because the four-wheel drive cars does not exist in our first dataset. So if we quickly check our second dataset, let me come up, is car info. So I'm going to copy it, come down here and visualize these two. So the head, we can see that, four-wheel drive cars exist on drivetrain. Actually, because this is a beginner test, it should have specified the column that you need to use to get this. But if you're not a beginner, you're going to have to look into your data sets and try and find all the columns you need. Anyway, so the first thing we need to do, because we have to use a subquery now, we have to filter the first table based on data coming from the second table. The first thing you should do is to create a list with all the four-wheel drive cars. So over here, I'm going to say four-wheel drive cars equals, and I'm going to select the index from my second table, because I'm going to use this list of indexes of only four-wheel drive cars in order to filter my first table, which has all the other data I need to use. So over here, I'm going to say select all the indexes from this table where the drivetrain, like this, equals, over here I'm going to add the four-wheel drive cars. So if we run this list quickly, you can see that it's only indexes. So these are the indexes, and it's actually the indexes of only four-wheel drive cars. Right. The next thing we have to do now is to go back into our first table and apply the aggregations. So average retail price per make and model for all four-wheel drive cars. So I'm going to copy one of the code we already have. So let's see, let's use this one maybe, and then build on this one. Come down here, there we go. So first we need to filter Ford cars. So our make has to be Ford. So we already have this, like this. So first we are filtering just the Ford cars, there we go. Then we also have to apply another condition, which is going to be the four-wheel drive cars. So I have to say and, then I'm going to copy this, paste it over here, and I'm going to say where the index, like this, remove this, dot is in, and I want my index to be in this list we have just created, so the four-wheel drive cars. If I quickly test this code just to show you how it works, so if we run it down here, there you go, it gives you a false or true depending if the car is in this list or not. And then if we run the whole data set, so you can see the whole data, there you go, all these cars are four-wheel drive cars. So let me remove this, go back. So we have added the second condition. We want to do a group by we want the data to be by make and model. So we already have model and we are going to add make too. So over here, I'm going to add, sorry, this is a comma and this is a make. Yeah, correct. And the last thing we have to do is to average the retail price. So we have retail price and we need to do a mean, which is the average, sorry, mean, 1n, remove the dot, run this, there we go. So we have the average retail price for all four-wheel drive Ford cars by make and model. So we have answered our question. And the last question says, show all the cars that have a retail price between 30 and 60k, are compact SUVs and have 4 cylinders. Right, so the 4 cylinders again is data that comes from our second table. Where is it? Cylinders is over here and it's coming from car info. So the question is very similar to the previous question. First, we have to create a list to filter the 4-cylinder cars, and then we have to use our main table to apply the aggregation it's asking us, and also filter out the 4-cylinder cars. So I'm going to copy this code we have above here quickly, paste it down here. I'm going to name this list as maybe cylinders 4 equals, and I need to select where cylinders like this equals I4. So 4 cylinders, and if we test it, we can see we have a list with the 4-cylinder cars. Next, we have to show all the cars. Oh, so we don't have to aggregate. So we have to do this over here, show all the cars where the first condition is that retail price is between 30 and 60k. So over here, I'm going to say retail price like this is more than 30,123, and I need another condition. Actually, we need the brackets if we're going to have multiple conditions. And then my second condition is going to be that retail price is less than 60k. There we go. Then we are going to add our 4-cylinder list condition. So we are going to copy this, paste it, and we're going to say where the index like this dot is in, and we're going to pass our list in, and then this is our list, correct? And we also need another condition. They have to be compact SUVs. So if we check our raw data, it's actually 2 conditions. They have to be compact, so body size have to be compact and body style has to be SUV. So 2 more conditions. So I'm going to copy one of our conditions again. Let's get the brackets too. So like this, I'm going to say and then I'm going to say where the body size, so over here, and then it's going to have to be equals, and then over here I'm going to add the compact. Yep. And then our last condition. So again, I'm going to copy this, I'm going to paste it. The body style is going to have to be SUV. So body style equals SUV. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 conditions on this query. We click run and we get an error. And the error says retail price. Oh, I cannot find retail price. Why? It's because we have spelled it wrong probably. Yeah, we are missing the capitals. So let me get this, retail price, run again. There we go. So we have all the data where the retail price is between 30 and 60, where the body size is compact or compact, and where the body style is SUV, and also all these cars have 4 cylinders. Right, so we have successfully answered all 6 questions. I'm sure it was less than 20 minutes, but maybe the video is going to be more because we were explaining the question and the answer. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've gained enough value out of this video. If you feel like you did, I would really appreciate it if you click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and enable notifications for my future videos. Let me know in the comments below how you found this test, if it was too easy or it was difficult for a beginner. If you want more difficult test or more variety of tests, I am going to be uploading an easy test, an intermediate test, and a difficult test in my next few videos. So you can also go and try those tests if you think this one was too easy. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video.